Hey there, today's video I'm going to do the top questions that you guys have been asking me about making that move here to Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'm going to go into how you want to move here, some of the things you need to know, and more. And I'm getting after it right now. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman, and I'm with the Living in Salt Lake City channel. So if you want to learn everything about what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, play here, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. I've been getting a ton of people lately that are reaching out to me about making that move here to Salt Lake City, and I absolutely love it. So if that's you, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I've got your back if you're moving here to Salt Lake City. You want to know what the top questions that people are asking me. Number one on my list is, how do they plan for their move? Should they buy a home? Should they rent a home? Are they being job transferred? Are they looking to get a new job? How do they find the right area to live in? Or how do you find the right area to live in? Well, should you buy or rent? That just depends on you. And I can't really answer that for sure, but if you have the means to buy, it's better to buy because you're going to save money. Because home prices should be appreciating over the next few years. Whether they dip in the next 12 months, they will be going up because home prices are constantly going up. And especially with inflation, home prices should just keep going up and up and up. Are you transferring here for a job, or are you getting a new job after you get here? That's one of the things that I'm going to hook you up with the lender, and they're going to go over with you so that we make sure that if you were quitting your job, that we can have everything dialed in for you so that you can purchase a home. Or if you're job transferring, what exactly you're going to need from the lender in order to be able to buy a home. And then how do you find the right area to live? Well, that leads us into number two. And so number two on my list is your lifestyle and your vibe. Do you want to be able to walk to coffee shops or bars or restaurants or that sort of thing? Do you need public transportation? Do you want to ride on our track system or the front runner train or the buses? Or are you planning to, drive your car into work? Where are you working? Do you know anyone that lives here? Do you have family in the area? Do you want to be close to them, further away from them, that sort of thing? Like for myself, I want my kids somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes away, so they're close enough to visit, or close enough if I give them a phone call and say, hey, we're doing this for dinner, and they're like, sure, no problem. I don't want them 30, 45 minutes away, and then they got to weigh that. Well, do I want to do the 30-minute, 40-minute drive there, and then the 30, 40-minute drive back, and then, then it's an all-day thing just to spend 2 hours with you. So you want family and friends close, but you don't necessarily need them 2 minutes away. However, I do have clients that want to be next door to their kids, so they want to buy in the same neighborhood. So it just depends on you, and that's one of the things we go over when you're giving me a call and we're, talking about it. But as far as what other things with location, we're going to open up the map and we're going to go over that on Zoom and just cover all the different areas and where you want to be, and you're going to kind of share that with me, and then I can help you. The other thing that a lot of people will do is they will come out here for 3 or 4 days, and I'll give them a bunch of homes where they could check out in some different cities, and then they'll drive by those homes and tell me, yeah, I like that neighborhood. I'd want to see homes in this neighborhood, or I hate that neighborhood. I don't want to even live in that city. So it's just up to you about where you end up. But originally, we just have you kind of do some driving around, checking out the different cities, letting me know which ones are good and bad for you. And then if you want to go see any of the homes, because, hey, this home looks like a great area, or you're in a different time crunch and you got to move here quickly, then we're setting up showings and we're going inside the homes and all of that. But I typically don't like to waste the homeowner's time, or I typically don't show that many homes to people that are coming out here until they've dialed in that they're going to be moving, or they're ready to make an offer on a home today, because otherwise we just looked at a home and then it's sold by the time you're ready to come. And the main thing about your coming out here first really is to figure out what city or cities that you like and you want to add to your map. And since each of the cities have different things going for them, some have more of a bedroom community, some have, like I said, walking distance to coffee shops, You have to figure that out, and I need to know that, and I wouldn't know that without talking. The number 3 question that I get asked a ton is selling my home. Do you have a home to sell where you're at? And then how to work through that. Well, I have partner agents all over the United States, and this makes things much smoother by me working with that agent, because then we can time things. I know what the offer that you're accepting, that sort of, so we don't end up with a contingent offer maybe on your home, and then you want to make a contingent offer on the home here, and then we double stack, and we have to make sure that your current agent doesn't accept like a contingent offer, meaning that the person buying your home also is selling their home, and their home has a buyer that's contingent. We got to make sure all of that. So the last thing I wanted to have happen to you is you put in an offer on your perfect home here in Utah, and then something goes wrong where you're currently at, and then you can't purchase. We can help make that go smoothly, and the best way is, for me to get in touch with the agent ahead of time and then talk to them and make sure that the partner agent that I have in your area is a top seller. And so letting me know ahead of time that you have a home to sell is really, really beneficial to helping you purchase here and make that transition smooth and as easy as possible. The number 4 thing really goes with the selling of the home, but to time everything. And that's if you're selling your home or you're renting, it doesn't make a difference. But when we talk it, we plan it all out, and we set up a timeline for everything, because a home typically takes about 30 days to close. Sometimes it's 45. It just depends on what lender you're using. If you're using like Wells Fargo, they can take 45, 60 days sometimes. Sometimes they do it in 30. It just depends. And we want to work through all of the timing so that I can alleviate stress for you and make your experience buying here an amazing one. Number 5 on the list is, when do I get to search for a home or searching for a home? And what is the housing market like here in Salt Lake County, Salt Lake City area? And right now, our market is a pretty balanced market. There's lots of properties to pick from. They're selling anywhere from, the first day all the way up to 40, 60 days on the market. It's going to depend on the condition of the home, the location of the home, and then how their agent priced their home. Did they price it where it should be, or did the person want last year's prices where they want an absolute top dollar and everybody was just coming in and throwing money at the home because interest rates were sub 3%, which meant money was super, super cheap. Well, it isn't that way anymore. We're, at a much higher interest rate, so they can't do what they were doing last year. Typically, there are homes that do have multiple offers, and I will help guide you through that process once we're working together. Number 6 on the list, what happens if I come out and then I want to look at homes and purchase a home virtually? Meaning you came out, saw the area, or you didn't even come out and you want to buy the home virtually. Well, I have an iPhone, so if you're an iPhone user, then it's super easy. I just FaceTime you through the home. Typically, if they don't have internet for some reason in that area, then I would record the home and post it to YouTube for you to watch. But if you're an Android user, then I have Google Duo, which you probably have or have used, and we just Google Duo through the home. Either way, we can make it work through some sort of technology. Otherwise, I can just record the video with either my GoPro or my iPhone and then go through that. But I like to do it via live, so that way you could say, oh, can you re-show me the kitchen, or can you take a couple pictures of this room or that room, and then I can get all that to you. And then how does that work as far as closing? Well, you can virtually close as well. I've had plenty of people that have, done everything online. The area, they just had me FaceTime or video stuff. They bought the home. We did the home inspection. All of that gets done. You'll talk to the home inspector. He'll go over the report. We'll go over the report, all of that. And so everything can be done remotely. You'll sign remotely as well. And so that's number 6 on the list, virtual. Number 7 on the list that sometimes people don't think about ahead of time, and that's to schedule your movers. Are you going to need movers where you're at to load your truck, however you're getting here, or do you need help once you get here to Salt Lake City unloading the truck? And so I can provide some different places that will help you unload here, and they do it like at an hourly rate. You can hire 2 to 4 people, and they'll just unload everything for you, which I highly recommend, because it only takes somewhere around 2 to 3 hours typically to unload. It's much longer to pack than it is to unload. They can unload really quickly, but that 300 to 500 ish dollars you're going to typically pay to is well worth having someone unload than for you to break your back, especially after you drove here and you just want to relax. And then the other thing we've had people use is big movers. So when we moved to Utah from Tennessee 2 years ago, we just did it ourselves. We rented a U-Haul, the biggest one that they had. I think we rented a 26-foot U-Haul truck, and we paid movers to help us load it. And then Nathan, my son, and I, we were just running the dolly back and forth because we had everything boxed, everything in tubs, everything ready to go for the movers. And we were just shuttling stuff. And then they had one guy in the truck that was loading stuff, and then two other guys that were helping us get everything done, and so that we could get the truck fully loaded. So it just depends on how you want to do stuff. When we moved from California to Tennessee, we paid Mayflower to load the truck and do everything. So I just got to sit down and let them load everything, and they did everything, but it took a long time and it cost a heck of a lot more money than doing it yourself. So it really depends on how you want to do it. You could definitely do it yourself and save quite a bit of money. I want to say our U-Haul truck from Nashville to Utah was right around $2,000 with everything, and then there was gas as well. So I drove the truck with Chase, and then my wife and Nate took the other car, and Megan had her car. So all of us were like in a caravan the whole way here. So it was super fun with the kids. We drove through St. Louis and then through Missouri and through Wyoming into Utah, and we had it all planned out. The only thing we did is a 12-hour day, which is a long time with kids and driving a truck. So we try to limit it, or at least I try to have people limit it to around 8 hours driving. But when you're coming here, depending upon where you're coming from, I can help, point you in the right direction as far as moving goes. The other thing you're going to need to know and that people ask about is utilities. So you're going to want to make sure that you have utilities set to turn on and off. And when we go under contract and you're past the inspection period, right in that while we're waiting for the appraisal time period, then I send you a list of all the utilities, and you can call all of them and get them all set up to turn on move-in day. But that's something people forget sometimes, and somebody just don't even tell you that you would need to turn on utilities, and you get here and then you have no power, for instance, and you're scrambling. That's not what I want to have happen. I want it to be smooth and nice and comfortable for your entire move here to the Salt Lake City area. Well, if you made it this far and you want to make that next step, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to talk to you more about making your move here to the Salt Lake City area. And until next time, be rad.